Viceroy of Greenland. First came the Dorset, ghosts of the frost, o'er Baffin Bay where the sunlight is lost. They carved out a life on the edge of the world before the red banners of Vikings unfurled. Then Eric, the outcast with fire in his eye, fled Iceland's cold judgment for a new northern sky. 25 long ships set sail for the west, but the hammer of Neptune put them to the test. 11 were swallowed by the salt and the foam. 14 survived to find a new home. Oh, the ice is a kingdom, the tundra is gold, a saga of iron, a story of old. From the eastern heart to the western shore, the Norsemen are rising to conquer once more. Through the mist and the thunder, the prophecy seen. All hail the Viceroy of Greenland. Farms in a warm epoch's light, 10,000 Norsemen prepared for the fight. From middle to western the settlements grew under a sky of a cold, brilliant blue. But the Thule arrived like a wave from the west, ancestors of Inuit put to the quest. In a single great surge from the north to the south, they took the cold land from the dragon's own mouth. The Norsemen vanished, the Thule remained. Then the Danes took the coast and the Inuit chained. But when Nazis loomed and the Danes gave away, the eagles of liberty entered the fray. Stars and the stripes over glacier and peak, the giants are waking, the masters are weak. The 47th rose with a plan in his hand. He looked to the north at the great frozen land. I'll buy it with silver, the president cried. But the Danes in their towers, they laughed in their pride. He returned in his glory with a vow and a blade. By gold or by iron, the deal shall be made. Who shall I send to the fjord and the snow? Who is the hero to make the land grow? Oh, the ice is a kingdom, the tundra is gold, a saga of iron, a story of old. From the eastern heart to the western shore, the Norsemen are rising to conquer once more. Through the mist and the thunder, the prophecy seen. All hail the Viceroy of Greenland.
And the will of the storm, the American empire begins to take form. Chris is running the show. Chris is running the
Hey, good evening, folks. Welcome back. It is the evening of 7 July 2026. Chris live in Central. Whoops, almost knocked the microphone over. That wouldn't have been good. 2026. Sorry, the sleeve wasn't right. 2026. Welcome back for your evening broadcast for Night Owls live. Okay. Gotta shave a little bit better there. Getting caught on the collar. Anyway, he's back on Greenland. And yes, I mentioned it last night, Alan. You're a little bit behind the times. I mentioned he was talking about Greenland yesterday. Hence the Viceroy of Greenland song tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I made a video yesterday about a hoax. about a staged situation. And most people took it and their feelings weren't hurt, but a couple of people were nasty about it. So anyway, but that's just the nature of things. So maybe I don't like YouTube punk pranks. Feeling guilty, Chris? Don't recall a comment from you. Don't recall a comment from you. Are you commenting about that? Let's see if Chris is saying something here. No, you didn't say anything. So why is that comment coming up now? Maybe you don't like dumb YouTube punk pranks. Well, it's not YouTube. It was on TikTok. And because I exposed it to warn people about it, because the media were running the story, the intent here is to make Afrikaners fearful of coming to America. This was spread by propagandists. And so I exposed it. And for that, a few people were abusive. I didn't see you as one of them, Chris. Were you one of them? Why are you commenting about it? I'm just curious. Anyway, that's not what I want. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in just a minute. Right now, I want to talk about this. This is the video, Viral Host Exposed. That's the one I did last night, in which I explained that this was nonsense. This was nonsense. It's all staged. Now, a few people are rather nasty, but I'm just producing another. Oh, gotcha, Chris. That's what I thought. I didn't see anything from you. Yeah, well, you don't need to see the crap from me. Well, as a journalist, it's my responsibility to hold the government and hold the public accountable, and I do. And in this case, people were spreading rumors and lies about what's going on, so I made a video to explain to people what's going on. And in response, I got a few things. So let me read this to you. Here it is. I gave a response. It's a little bit pointed, but he thought he'd be clever and put it in Afrikaans. So let me just read this to you. Maybe a little hard to see on your screen, so I'll help you out with that. As stated, Wyatt, we don't need your help or attention. Rather, sort out the decadence and morality issues within your own country. Have the Epstein files been resolved with real justice yet? Will it ever? We don't need your help, especially considering the connivers of most things unholy on this planet now is America's doing. World War II was financed directly by U.S. businessmen who never faced any consequence for that. Germany took the fall for war. You connived. Let's not forget 2 nukes on women and children. Then there was Kissinger, Nixon, Bush Jr. flying into your buildings to exploit the tax coffers and their little war on terror. So Wyatt, with all due respect, F off. And Amanda says, geez, why are you so nasty? Colonel Wyatt does a lot for us. And then I guess he thought he was clever by switching to Afrikaans. So my response was, hey, diptwit. Tried to switch to Afrikaans while pouring on your dim-witted bigotry, insults, and flat-out retarded worldview, I see. It would appear that humanity is your enemy. Fools like you are the reason Afrikaners constantly lose. Your narrow-minded 16th century intellect has caused the downfall of the Afrikaner and Boer communities time and time again. Trust me, this thing, he called me a thing, would make short work of your childish churlishness in any fashion imaginable. While your lot were busy negotiating with communists and blaming us for your failures, I was too busy with the Cold War to bother worrying about dimwits like you hiding in the old Transvaal. You lost, loser. Sorry, actually you capitulated. Go cry in your fellies. You lost. Look in the mirror, Abner. You lost all on your own. Of course the prank is idiotic, Chris. Did you watch my video? I said so in the video. I said so in the video. And the one that I'm editing now, which will come up after this, I would say so again. No, but this is the sort of dim-witted, small percentage of the Afrikaans community that's out there. Another person told me, is it Trevor Charles told me, Trevor says, yeah, they're very ugly comments. And it was worse than that. I didn't read all of it to you. I just read you the portion I didn't expand. You can only get so much text on the screen. Trevor Charles told me, it's common YouTube courtesy to give the link to the video. No, it's not. No, it's not. What's common YouTube courtesy? I'm sorry. Is there a handbook for that? I didn't get it. The only handbook I have is e-begging from Ronaldo Khus. That's the only handbook for YouTube I've ever been given, is the e-begging handbook from Ronaldo Khus. Well, Phoenix, they crawl out of South Africa, and I deal with this crap every day. Fortunately, it's a very small number of people. It doesn't reflect Afrikaners or Boers or South Africans. So anyway, yeah. So Chugsy's another one who keeps writing stupid comments on my videos. They think I don't read these things. Sometimes I miss them. Sometimes I read them. Anyway, but Trevor Charles said it's common etiquette to post a link. But see, it's also the point I make all along. You don't have to believe anything I tell you. I give you the receipts. In this case, I intentionally didn't give the link. Why didn't I give the link? Because I knew exactly what was going to happen. Exactly what was going to happen. A stupid comment like that. Rather than deal with the fact that you've been punked, and in this world of artificial intelligence and fake videos and fake images, it's easier to be punked. But this was not artificial intelligence. And the reason I mention is because 2 media outlets cover the story. The Independent Online treated it as if it was a real story, if it's a real outrage over South Africans being accosted in a store, and so did Cape Town, etc. It wasn't Cockprot 24, Chris. That's the point. You're missing the point entirely. And the whole thing is creating, see, Chris, you got to see, there's a difference between sergeants and colonels, okay? Vision, long-term thinking, okay? Sergeants deal with this. Colonels deal with that. And I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with a fake controversy stirred up to dissuade people from applying for the refugee program. A fake controversy stirred up so that when people glom onto it, then later they're exposed and they look like fools. Like Peter Dutoy. You see this stuff these right-wingers are doing? Fake information. Dude, it's from your network, News 24. It's your poll. It's your survey. He looked like an idiot. Well, you can ignore the BS media. But unfortunately, the BS media influence people. And the purpose of this channel is to influence people so that they get the facts. Think for yourself. You should listen to me. That you don't have to. But I bring you the information. I give you the analysis for free. You're not even paying for this. You don't have to pay a cable bill. You don't have to pay me a subscription. Although those who do, I'm very grateful. Well, Chris, you are an outlier. An outlier. But some outliers are completely the opposite, like that conspiracy theorist who blamed me for Kissinger and for South Africa's capitulation. Yep. Yes, you remember that. He shot himself in the foot. And the problem is this. When it comes to farm murders and genocide, or whatever term people want to use, things like this are used. They'll use this to say, see, they cry about things that are not even real. They couldn't take a joke. It was fake. I've done the Afrikaans community and the Boers a huge favor by exposing this prank to people who missed it. And for that, I get abused. Whatever. Exactly, Leandra. Oh, and South African media, etc., running with this video, and they don't even play the whole video. And yes, people are slurping it up just because it makes me laugh so much, Carol. Yeah, because I only bring the facts. Exactly. Always going to be these type of idiots online. Don't let these fake. Oh, no, guys. Okay, first off, do you see me losing sleep? No, I'm fresh as a daisy. That's not the point. The point here is that I'm just showing you how some people can be, because they're obviously the person got punked. And so rather than take it like an adult, we all get punked. I've nearly been tricked a couple of times. You got to be very discerning. That's my point. You've got to be very discerning. So let's talk about where this account is, since Trevor Charles said that it's common YouTube etiquette to show it. Well, I don't know about that, but I will show you the account. This is My House is Dirty. Yeah, that's the actual name. And it's not a very big TikTok account. I mean, it has 66,000 followers, which is not that big. It has 1.1 million likes. I've got, I think, 1.1 million likes. I don't have 66,000 followers, but I post almost nothing on TikTok. Yes, it makes the media like fools. Thank you, Phoenix. And that's the other point. It's my job to hold the fourth estate accountable. Why? Because the fourth estate is not held accountable to anyone. They get away with slandering President Trump, with creating Russia hoax, all this nonsense, destroying our foreign policy, destroying civil order in this country with the George Floyd nonsense and the fake hands up in Ferguson, Missouri, and the whole Freddie Gray bullshit in Baltimore. They lie about it and they divide this country because suckers fall for it. It's my job to hold the government and to hold the media accountable, because no one else is holding them accountable. Chris, okay, we got it. You're smarter than the average bear. Dude, let go. Not everybody's smarter than the average bear. Hence the reason for the analysis. But here you are watching. Here you are watching, Chris. My House is Dirty. There it is right there. On Facebook, he only has 49 followers. There you go. Big Fish, I'm still not figuring out your interview. I got to sort that out, because you said you do the interview, but I'm trying to figure out how you communicated that with me. Anyway. So that's the whole point of that. Now, there's another video, and this is kind of nasty language. I'll try to bleep it out. So this right here just proves my point that this was not targeting Afrikaners, which is what is implied, which is what people are buying and drinking hook, line, and sinker. They're going hook, line, and sinker for that video, okay? This is this clown from his TikTok account, or actually his Facebook account I got it from. This is him. The language is abrasive. Are there any children in the room? You might want to put this on mute for the next 30 seconds. The language is very bad. Very, very bad, okay? Very bad. So you've heard it. You've been warned, okay? If you don't want to hear foul language, then you need to put it on. Yes, it's going to make money from going viral, exactly. It's already viral when I address it. I ignored it when I first came across it. I ignored it, hoping it would go nowhere. But then so many people glommed onto it, it was necessary. So here he is in a store. Looks like the same store on a different day. And watch how he accosts a black man. Watch this. The language is bad.
Get out the way, jackass. You see me right here?
Learn some manners, motherfucker.
I said 3 times, excuse me, dude.
I didn't hear you.
Well, you need to open your ears, jackass.
Okay, well, you need to learn your motherfucking place, boy.
See that right there? See that? See that? You need your mother effing boy. He called him a boy, mother effing. See that pack draw on that mobile? He's running pack draw right now. All right, you see that? That's exactly the same thing that happened in the other video. Yes, Karen Long, sneaky. They obscured the TikTok poster name. You'll see that there's 2 Y's at the end of it. It's this account. A few times I watch TikTok on WhatsApp, I sometimes check the person's account. Exactly. What is that? That's an app. People can send money. Pack draw. Anyway, whatever. That's not the point of this. You can look up what pack draw is, Virtual Western Cape. The point is that this is all staged. It's fake. And instead of being respectful and thanking me for helping expose a fraud that's going on, I get nasty people. Look, again, I'm not losing any sleep over it, but the point is that some people just can't handle the truth. That's the bottom line.
What's my place, buddy?
Okay.
I said 3 times, excuse me, buddy.
Okay,
No, he didn't.
then I didn't hear you. Okay, that's what I'm telling you.
What did you hear?
Okay, I didn't hear a fucking thing.
So how you hearing? So why you hear
I hear you
jackass?
now because you talking in my face.
See, the whole thing is just bullshit. Now, that's a black American. Is that an Afrikaner where South Africans being targeted? No. This is a jerk who does this stuff online for clicks to make money. He thinks it's entertaining. It's not. Rage baiting for clicks. Exactly. It's all staged, just like the Afrikaners. Do you know what you do with people like this? You just laugh at them. You just laugh at them. Anyway, I warned you about the profanity. Leandra says, Colonel Professor, the only people are honest and factual. Media uses fake information to stop people from to apply. Yeah, scared. Exactly. And that's the whole purpose of running this story. And it was run in the IOL and it was run in Cape, etc. Both of which were suckers. Here's the IOL story right here. Go back to South Africa. Afrikaners confront a U.S. supermarket. Run as if it's real. It's listed as news. It's not news. It's bogus. This is the toilet paper record. The IOL. Run 7 hours ago. Suckers. Suckers, suckers, suckers. Go back to South Africa. Afrikaners confronted. Now the problem, Chris Ehlers, is that this will be the record. When a researcher, a historian like myself does research on the events of 2026, they'll come across this. And they won't have the context because it doesn't exist. Therefore, it's incumbent on honest, accurate journalists like myself to expose this stuff. Great, you don't read the idiots online, Chris Ehlers, but let me tell you something. Were you alive in 1948 when the National Party won control of the country? Were you? Was there someone that you can interview that was around in 1948 who can state the facts clearly? 80 years after the events, Chris? I'm not picking on you, but I'm going to ask you a serious question here. No, there's no one around. So how do historians do research and write things 80 years after the fact? And the reason I say this is because in 1988, I wrote a paper 40 years after the 1948 election in South Africa. Do you know what my primary source of information for that were? Not the books that other people wrote. No television shows. There weren't any. No radio broadcasts. Newspapers, archived newspapers from South Africa in Afrikaans and English. In 1988, as an undergraduate, I researched a paper about the 1948 election when the National Party took over and how the rural votes counted more than the city votes. And that's how they took over. But what the paper said, a historian has to discern the hyperbole, the exaggeration, the lies. But if there's no one that's opposing this, Well, great for you, 1980. You were in Guts and Glory, and I was in 5 Wars. We're going to compete now, Chris? Come on. You're just being difficult tonight. I'd already done my time in the Army in 1988. Went back to university, then came back in 89. So the point is, when I researched as a historian in 1988, the events of 1948, only 40 years removed, and a continent removed, yet my paper was spot on. My analysis was accurate because I'm not hoodwinked by this nonsense, because I actually do the research and I pay attention when I'm doing. Anyway, that's the point. That's the whole point of this thing. Somebody has to get the record straight. Somebody has to get the record straight. Exactly. People laugh about Leon Schuster. But no one's laughing about this, Phoenix. No one's laughing. People think it's real. I need a viral video to get one SUV. Alan says, what we have is the lived experience of our grandfathers at that time. The perspective we learned who was for and who was against the Nats at that time. Okay, Alan, so write the story in the year 2136. Your grandfather's going to be there to help you? No. At least today there's video, there's voice, there's books, there's print. Anyway, so look, there you go. So some people just can't handle the truth. Yeah, I saw that one. People who never pick cotton want to pay out from people who never owned a plantation. Yeah, I saw that one, Harley. Hey, Harley, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. I think I saw you yesterday or the day before, but not in a while before that. Anyway, yep. All right. The more the media is exposed, the less people trust them. That should be the goal. Exactly, Phoenix. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly, Veroshka. But he's not trying to be taken seriously. He's not hiding the fact that he's punking people. That's the thing that's sad about this. He's not hiding the fact that he's punking people. That's just what he's doing. Okay. Cyberlaw says, thank you for exposing him, telling us the truth. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Cyberlaw. That's what I'm looking for. Sticks and stones, says Cheesy. Anyway. Yeah, Peter DeToy, what a fool that guy was. And how does anybody take that stuff seriously? No, Starbucks never offered me a sponsorship. Yep. Dylan Hunt. Captain Dylan Hunt? From the starship Andromeda? From the Sisters Commonwealth? I love that show. Yeah, there was a website, but that became a little bit political. Yeah, I get what you say, and it's important to keep the facts recorded. Any research will be able to see. Exactly. Let us guy, what's going on? Plain Jane. We will reform the Commonwealth. We will reconstitute the Commonwealth. Captain Dylan Hunt of the starship Andromeda. The Magog. The Nietzscheans. That's the one I didn't get. How do human beings develop, spikes out of their forearms? That's the only thing. Was it a genetic defect when they were doing the genetic wars? To be fair, they also do Santa Claus. I can't fault them on honest reporting. Yeah. Well, there's lifestyle portions of media, but when you report the news, and that's what that was reported as, news. News is people responding to, viral fake videos. That's just funny. Anyway, congratulations to Argentina, and the Egyptians are upset, but they're the ones who collapsed. Nobody did anything to collapse them. They're upset about the goal being overturned, but the guy clearly fouled the guy on the other end. It was unfortunate, but yeah, the play should have never carried on that far. But that's what you get when you bring VAR back into the show. We've had tries overturned. The moment somebody's kicking it at midfield, we've had tries overturned in rugby. So if you want video, that's a consequence of video. The truth comes out. So the Egyptians are upset that video wasn't used. So, yeah, I got you. But the Egyptians had a 2-0 lead and they choked. They didn't do anything the second half. And Lionel Messi tied the game up at 2-2 with a brilliant strike right through a guy's legs. Yep. Big nutmeg there. And then they scored a third goal. And the Argentines, the defending world champions, advance. They shouldn't have been in this game. They should have lost to Cape Verde, but they escaped by the narrowest of margins in extra time. Yep. Argentina wins this game in extra time, not in stoppage time, I should say, coming down from 2-0, like Belgium did. And a lot of people, a lot of leftists who hate America are reveling in the fact that Belgium beat America. But they forget that Belgium is the 9th ranked team in the world and U.S. is the 17th ranked team in the world, and we're the underdogs. And they're just reveling in that America was beat. Anybody who revels in America is beat, I hope they suffer a painful, miserable life. What a sad, horrible human being. Because an unjust red card was overturned by FIFA, and they're upset with America. FIFA overturned the card. Also, we have put on the best World Cup ever, and instead of being grateful, these people hate America, especially Americans doing it. So screw them and screw the horse they rode in on. They should ride out of town on a donkey, leading a donkey, or walking behind it, collecting its feces as it does its droppings. That's what they should do. But I have news for those who are mocking the Americans, including the poor sport Belgian team who mocked Donald Trump. Spain will eat your ass for lunch. You will not score a goal, and you will lose to Spain. Spain will eat your ass for lunch, and you'll go down in defeat. And every time the Belgian team takes the pitch from now and for the next 10 years, we will boo them into oblivion because they are poor sports. Much like Mbappe, the West African pretend Frenchman, who mocked the goalie after the goalie made amazing stops against him time and again, and then no defender back there, and the ball's turned over right in front of him, and he kicks it and he acts like he's the greatest striker in the history of the game. Erling Haaland can run circles around Mbappe. Mbappe is an arrogant asshat clown. Erling Haaland is a man. He's a gentleman. He's a stud, and he's the best striker in football. Exactly, Charles. They haven't given up a goal, and Belgium won't get a goal against them. Yes, the Argentinians were in the last World Cup, but it was played in an Arabic fascist totalitarian desert. I didn't even watch it. Remember the Germans? They're pro-homosexuality. They wanted to promote homosexuality instead of playing soccer. Much like Megan Dipshino. You know Megan Dipshino? The scumbag, anti-American, lesbian, hateful troll. Megan Dipshino? Yeah, you know her. They care more about their sexuality and what they're doing behind closed doors than they do about playing the sport. Same thing with the German team. And twice now they've been eliminated. Mostly because there aren't any damn Germans on the team. Kimmich is the only German on the team. Yeah, Charles, the USA did perform above their station, but their performance in the Turkey game and their performance in Belgium were atrocious. Both were absolutely atrocious. They stood around. 3 guys stand there watching the ball, and the guy runs through, boop, 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 runs right past them. It's almost as if the whole thing was staged. I am pulling for Morocco. That's correct. Norway and Morocco are the teams I'm pulling for now. That's who I'm pulling for. Norway and Morocco. That's who I'm rooting for. Let's go take a look at FIFA at the standings. Okay, FIFA. Let's go there now. Take a look at what's left. Yeah. Tune in for the World Cup. I got it. Thank you. Tournaments. Come on, just give me the World Cup. Here we go. Standings. There we go. Now we get to the bracket. All right, here's the bracket. Okay, so let's get to the bracket now. All right, so we've got France and Morocco, Norway and England, and Spain, Belgium, Argentina, Switzerland. All right, I'm pulling for Morocco, Norway, Switzerland, and Spain. The only favorite there is Spain. All the others, I'm pulling for the underdog. But the Team West Africa, also known as France, should not be winning. Morocco should get to the semifinal. They've got knocked out in the quarterfinal by France last time. Hopefully they can advance. Norway is an outlier, but England can be beaten. England can be beaten, and they would get into semis. Wouldn't that be amazing? Yep. Switzerland have not been in the quarterfinals since 1954, when Das Wunder von Bern took place, when the Germans won their first international title, their first FIFA World Cup, the first of 4, when Germans actually played for the German side in 1954. They won. They beat Hungary in a shock. Hungary was the best team in the world, apparently, and the Germans, Das Wunder von Bern, they won. There's actually a movie in German called Das Wunder von Bern. I have the DVD. I don't think I've ever watched it, though. Amazing stuff. But so we're down to France, Morocco, Norway, England, Spain, Belgium, Argentina, Switzerland. So I'm going against games. Henry, I agree. Soccer is a useless game. If you know anything about me, I don't do anything except watch the World Cup and occasionally Bayern Munich. But I do not like soccer generally. It's so embarrassing. All these top flight players like little babies, rolling around the ground. They don't even get touched. You watch the replay, they're not even touched. They're not even touched. They just fall down, and then they cry. No, England are not that great, Big Fish. Oh, the Vikings are awesome. That's good stuff, man. You notice I'm wearing Norwegian color tonight. Norwegian colors tonight. Yeah, Bushveld tree fellers. Wow. Norway beating England would be so good. Can't wait. Yep. Do you know what the Norwegian newspaper in Oslo was complaining about after they won their last game? Not enough people of color play for Norway. Not enough people of color play for Norway. Good God. 82% of Norway are either Norwegian or Sami. Immigrants are 21% of the population. They shouldn't be there. Largest groups are Poland, Ukraine, Lithuania, and Sweden. Yep. Historically, a relatively homogeneous nation, immigration over the last few decades significantly diversified its cities, particularly Oslo. Yep. Rugby is an honest. Okay, BE lost them points. Okay, so I don't have attention for soccer. Well, actually, Bushveld tree fellers, the Springboks did disappoint. It looked for a little bit there like we're going to see a repeat of last year's debacle against Australia when they were leading 22-0, lost 39-22. But they did get it back in gear in second half and recovered. Oh, yeah, no. Oxen Che's run against England was incredible. And unfortunately injured his knee short time after that, went out of the game. Hopefully he's okay, but it sounded like a serious injury. And then Andre Esterhuizen got a concussion, so he'll be out this week. Yep. Soccer is 90 minutes pretending you're hurt. Rugby is 80 minutes pretending you're not. Exactly, Rudy. That's well stated. Yeah, a graze on the face and they crumble in soccer. The Castle Rail Yard. I've deleted all Facebook and WhatsApp groups regarding this program, and you are my only trusted source. Well, Castle Railguard, that's your prerogative, and I appreciate you listening to my advice, but thank you. I just, look, I mean, that doesn't mean I'll get things right all the time, but my track record's pretty good. Charles says the Argentinians will beat the Swiss. Soft run in for them again. I don't know about that. People are irrational. They're not acting in the spirit of the game, playing the man and not the ball long after the game is over. Yep, exactly. I know you're referring to my videos, not just the sport. Yep. George is in from Heckport. What's going on, man? Oh, the under-20 rugby team. Okay, well, that was supposed to be on Rugby Pass TV, but then they removed all of them. They were listed as being played live, and none of the games were live. And none of them there after the fact. It's really pissing me off. Really pissing me off what World Rugby did. They listed those games as available on Rugby Pass TV. I tried to watch them, and then they weren't there. It's a good thing I didn't stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning and watch one of those games. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Back a Buddy proves once again it is a dishonest platform. Yep, a dishonest platform. First off, they removed Ronaldo's legal fee campaign. Why? Ronaldo committed no crime, and he's seeking to raise legal fees. And they took the money. It's not the first time they did it. Back a Buddy is a platform that must be investigated for racketeering and corruption. The South African government should look into Back a Buddy for racketeering and corruption. Seriously. Now, this is going to sound hilarious. I'm actually going to come out in defense of Mel and Pete Fillon. Yeah, I know. Shocker, isn't it? Absolutely a shocker. Harlan will be the best striker of all time. I think so, Cheesy. 64 goals and 52 appearances. Yep. Rugby Pass is not confusing, Cheesy. It's very easy. Yep. They're playing Scotland this Saturday. South Africa is. So Back a Buddy has removed the campaign, which raised almost no money, for their legal fees. Back a Buddy shuts down Mel Fillon's campaign to raise $400,000 for husband's legal fees. Why? Why? Back-A-Buddy has shut down Milthion's crowdfunding campaign to seeking $400,000 to help cover her husband's mounting legal fees. Platform said that donors would be refunded. Pete is behind bars on 400 charges linked to an alleged $27.6 million property scam. But Pete Fillon has not been convicted of fraud. He's accused. And he has no money, apparently. And now he's not allowed to raise money through this corrupt platform, which exists for leftist hate wankers. We've used this platform to raise money for a deaf girl, for people in need, and it's proven to be unreliable and cannot handle large volumes of people donating at the same time. Yeah, no, Back-A-Buddy needs to be exposed for what it is. That needs to be exposed for what it is. It's time for South Africa's government to do some actual investigating into enterprises. Then look at racketeering for this group. Platform said it closed the campaign to protect donors, campaign creators, and the integrity of our community. How are they protecting anyone? We all know who Mel and Pete are. And if you're foolish enough to donate money, that's your prerogative. That is your prerogative. Sleep well from all the new welders in Pennsylvania. Thank you, Plain Jane. Okay. I work for companies supply rugby passes with stats before World Rugby bought them. Yeah, World Rugby's bought them and they've butchered it. Yes, they're making a political statement. And so I would say let's boycott Back-A-Buddy. Don't use it. Don't use Back-A-Buddy. Some minutes after this was there, crowdfunding organizations left a message for donors announcing the closure campaign and the donors will be funded. Decisions like this are never taken lightly and are guided entirely by our commitment to fairness, transparency, and platform trust. What's fairness? You're not being fair at all to Mel and Pete Fillon. They've committed no crime against your organization. They're convicted of no crimes. You've politically decided to shut them down. Therefore, you make your platform suspect. The trustworthiness of Back-A-Buddy is out the window because they shut down the campaign to help Ronaldo Cruz, and now they've shut this down. People not convicted of a single crime. All eligible donations are in the process of being systematically refunded. This is a company that needs to be exposed. Back-A-Buddy. Back-A-Buddy. Yep. I made several donations through that site. Shame on them. Shame on them. 0% fees, 100% heart. Well, there's fraud right there. There are fees. There are fees. They ask for fees every time that you make a donation, and it's automatically there. You have to change it to 0. So that's dishonest. Successful fundraising happens here. No, it doesn't. You just shut one down for no reason whatsoever. Here we're helping some girl get to the Commonwealth Games. Wow. Back-A-Buddy. Dishonest platform. If you're dumb enough to give money to Mel and Pete Fillon for their legal fees, that's your prerogative. Well, Vodka Model, I know, and I've used them several times, but they have done this again. Using their platform for political advocacy. That is wrong. Well, Cyber Law Insider, yes, there's legal aid, but it's not going to help white people. And besides that, legal aid aren't the best attorneys. You get what you pay for. And, they deserve a fair defense, even if they are guilty. Yep. Exactly. Back-A-Buddy took 7,000 Rand from Charles' campaign, and he needed that money for that operation. Yep. Yep, there you go. So before you all defend Back-A-Buddy, which I've encouraged people to use in the past, you need to open your eyes and look what they actually do. They're a political actor, and there's no basis whatsoever for removing that campaign. Someone else did it on her behalf. Mel didn't start that. The media claimed that she did it, but this other lady, Fondamev, is the one who started the campaign. She didn't lie about it. She was honest about the campaign. She said what it was for. She explained where the money was going. So what's the basis of taking it down? Thank you, Tree Fellows. It is absolute crap. Yeah. There you go. The Ashton McCaff at the track meet. They raised $600,000, clearly made to killing that boy. Was that on Back-A-Buddy? I don't remember that. That was here in the States. That wasn't Back-A-Buddy. That was, yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that was from the one that's here in the States. GoFundMe. GoFundMe allowed them to raise $600,000 for that guy, but they shut down the accounts of truckers who were being persecuted by the corrupt Canadian government. Yep, GoFundMe. Same thing. Political actors. Yep. You got 35 years in prison. You're talking about Austin Metcalf. You're talking about GoFundMe. Same thing. Same thing. So let's go on to something more interesting. So Lexi Hall and Sophie Cunningham were on the beach in California. Yes, the WNBA duo brushed off any criticism, soak up the California sun ahead of Wednesday's Los Angeles Sparks game. There they are. There's Lexi Hall on the left and Sophie Cunningham on the right. I'm not really into bleach blondes, but these two pull it off. And there, of course, is Caitlin Clark on the right. It's from last year. Here they are on the beach. Lexi Hall and Sophie Cunningham at Manhattan Beach. Guess who isn't at the beach with them? Pale girl. Yes, she's not there. There they are. Lexi Hall on the left and Sophie Cunningham on the right. And there's the picture posted by somebody on X. They are fit. Feverish Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hall step out in bikinis on their day off. Here they are on the court. Ron, the ref rugby, says those two are soft on the eye. So here they are on the beach. This is the picture. There you go. So that's Sophie there. And then Lexi's in the foreground. Let this guy take care. Good morning, Coco. Yeah, GoFundMe, Phoenix. Back-A-Buddy merged with Uprise Africa through Schofield State of the new structure. I didn't know Uprise Africa. So the legal aid told Karen to go to the hospital and get a note and apply for disability. It's perfectly healthy, advising me to commit fraud. Yeah, exactly. Attorney's telling you to commit fraud. Yep. Well, while we were all busy, the United States has struck Iran again after it attacked a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. The United spoke. The military operation came hours after the U.S. Treasury revoked a waiver allowing global sales of Iranian oil. The United States carried out airstrikes against several targets in Iran tonight, hours after revoking a waiver allowing the sale of Iranian oil around the world in a dual response to what the Pentagon said were Iranian attacks on 3 commercial ships transiting Strait of Hormuz. Military Central Command said on social media that it hit more than 80 targets with precision munitions. U.S. forces struck Iranian air defense, command and control, coastal radar sites, anti-ship capabilities, and more than 60 Islamic Revolutionary Guards, small boats in and near the strait to degrade Iran's ability to continue attacking international commerce. The attacks included a Saudi oil tanker, a Qatari liquefied natural gas carrier, and they threatened to disrupt supplies of energy for the world. It is time to bomb these clowns into submission. 80 targets, 4 to 5 times bigger attack, U.S. on new Iran strikes. U.S. official told the Associated Press the attacks would likely last for hours and that they intend to hit 8 times more targets than the previous round of retaliatory strikes that were conducted at the end of June. The new U.S. airstrikes against Iranian military targets in the area of the Strait of Hormuz have been 4 or 5 times bigger than the previous ones. Yep. U.S. completes strike on multiple Iranian targets after Hormuz Strait ship attacks. U.S. forces hit over 80 targets with precision munitions. The new U.S. attacks threaten to reignite conflict in the region. What do you mean reignite? The Iranians are attacking ships at sea. It's an F-18 Super Hornet on the USS Abraham Lincoln. This conflict, which began on February 28th, continues unabated. Meanwhile, the Nazi in Maine is likely to drop out of the campaign here shortly Ex-girlfriend of Graham Plattner says he removed condoms without consent during sex. The campaign for the Democratic Senate candidate in Maine called the allegation categorically false and politically motivated. An ex-girlfriend of embattled Senate candidate Graham Plattner told the Washington Post he repeatedly removed protection without her consent when they were having sex. Lindsay Fifield said she dated Plattner from 2013-2015 and previously accused him of physical abuse. Said that she told Plattner on multiple occasions that he had to wear condoms during sex because she was not on birth control. He would pull condoms off. He would do it in a sneaky way. He wouldn't tell me. Wow, this guy is going down in flames. Well, Nigel Farage famously resigned earlier today. We covered that story. Nigel Farage resigned from his seat in Clacton-on-Sea, and nobody's going to stand against him. Labour, the Conservatives, Liberal Democrats, Green Party, and Restore Britain have all ruled out contesting the Clacton by-election triggered by the resignation of Nigel Farage. The Reform UK leader said that having announced his resignation, he would refight the Essex seat in what he billed as a people versus establishment by-election. Facing increasing scrutiny over his finances, which are all bogus, he labeled the election a circus. Yep. Wow. So nobody's going to stand against him. So Nigel Farage has resigned today. They'll set up a by-election. He'll be the only candidate. He's going to win overwhelmingly. We got plenty of missiles spotted in Enigma. Yep, it's time to bomb it back in the Stone Age. So Belgian fans are mocking the U.S. Well, payback is a bitch, Belgium. Overturn this. Belgium mocks Donald Trump and FIFA with dance and post after victory against U.S. Belgium has ended USA's World Cup campaign with many taking great joy in the humiliating 4-1 defeat. The new acronym has been given to you, Fix It for America. The new abbreviation is trending online, especially following the scandal that has rocked the World Cup and added to FIFA's less than stellar reputation. Why is it a scandal? They did the same thing for Cristiano Ronaldo a few months ago. They set his red card aside for a year. The exact same thing they did for Balogun. Why is that a scandal? Belgium wasn't complaining then. Nobody was a paragon of virtue or complaining about FIFA when they did it for Cristiano Ronaldo. Unlike Trump and the supposedly politically neutral FIFA, Belgium showed love for the game and great integrity. Love for the game. They're bad sports. They're poor sports. Screw Belgium. I'd love to see Spain score 9 goals against them. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be amazing? So here they are. Here are the scumbags mocking President Trump. Bad move, Belgium. Look at these players. Well, when the Belgians lose, we'll toss waffles at them. The Belgian players are a bunch of wusses, and Afrikaners know what the P word is. I mean, the Belgians, one of their biggest tourist attractions is in Brussels, and it's of a statue of a little boy pissing. That's what they're proud of. A little boy urinating from a water fountain. What kind of country is that? What kind of country is a country where their greatest pride is a statue with a little tiny penis urinating from a water fountain? Well, it's obvious because they're fake, Spot Enigma. They're all fake. They love Trump when he was doing these leftist things. Yep, here it is. Here's their greatest pride, the mannequin piss. 24-inch bronze fountain statue in central Brussels. Yep, been there, seen it. This is what they're so proud of. This is the height of civilization. This is what the Belgians are so proud of. A naked little boy with a tiny penis urinating. Reminds me of the Belgian players. Tiny penises. Oh yeah, Belgium does rely heavily on world trade. And it was a bad idea. Here you go. This is what they're proud of. That's what the Belgians are proud of. That's their heritage. The Belgians are also responsible for cutting the hands off of Congolese, for raping, for murdering, pillaging Congo. That's the Belgians. They did that. Yeah, that's something to be proud of. Their colonial history in Africa. Yeah, yes. I've been to the museum, the Leopold Museum in Belgium. Wow. They are pathetic. And so their approach is to act like children after they won. Bad sports, just like the West Africa team, also known as France, mocking the goalie who shut down Mbappe several times. Yeah, Belgium's history is pretty shameful. That's true. So they're going to whine about integrity of the sport. Please spare me. No, most Afrikaners are not descendants of Belgium. Nope. Afrikaners are descendants of French Huguenots, of Dutch, not Walloons, Germans, primarily. All right, Pat, take care. Your delivery driver on Monday was a Congolese in South Africa. What's he doing there? What's he doing there? Sonny Houston feels unsafe in neighborhoods with American flags. I would suggest that Sonny Houston shut her cake hole. Sonny Houston is a repulsive, racist piece of human sludge from the dystopian view. And she feels unsafe because there's American flags. I feel unsafe around loudmouth black women who don't know anything. It's unsafe to be around them. The View co-host Sonny Houston laments, "I suddenly feel unsafe in neighborhoods with American flags." The View co-host Sonny Houston repeated her assertion from 2020 that she feels uncomfortable and unsafe while visiting neighborhoods where homes are flying the American flag. I said this on this show many, many years ago because this is the 10th year on the show. That's 10 years too many. I said there are times when I walk into a community and I see American flags all over the community, I suddenly feel unsafe because there's a section in this country that's co-opt the American flag. They equating an American or American flag with white supremacy. Oh, screw you, you turd. You freaking Michelin. You freaking half-breed. You freaking loser. Wow. There's more European DNA coursing through this idiot's veins than African DNA. Yet she's an unrepentant racist. Wow. So this frightens her. American flags. Good. Good. I say we put more American flags up. This black supremacist should be taught a lesson. Oh, could somebody please address this newcomer here? That, for me, was the defining image of modern America for black Americans, condemning the American flag style insignias on their caps. Co-host Elisa Farah Griffin took the opportunity to blast fringe activists on both sides, but guest host Michelle Buteau, who celebrated 4th of July by eating a cake that said America do better, argued this was an indictment of the nation as a whole. When you say it's the best nation for who? Because if we're celebrating 250 years, what exactly are we celebrating is what I want to... Oh, these shrews, these nasty, sad, dried up prunes whose eggs left them a long time ago. My goodness. I hope none of them are reproduced because they're just disgusting human beings. When someone of color, a black woman, is telling you her feelings, people need to listen and not, repudiate it and not say, well, that can't be true. So you are special. You're more special than, say, a white woman. We have to listen to you because you are a black woman. Shut up. What a moron. What a moron. Because the message is very clear. It's a message of white supremacy. It's a message of racism. It's a message of... No. Your cake hole is a message of black supremacy. A culture of victimization. This loser making multi-million dollars a year by spewing racial hatred on an ABC network owned by Disney, a bunch of leftist retards, and she is privileged beyond belief, is sitting here telling us about racism. The racism comes out of her mouth. What a bunch of retards. The View wasn't canceled. What are you talking about? When was The View canceled? Stupid people, man. Stupid people. So Lionel Messi advances, and Argentina, with its soft bracket to get to the final, they set this up so Argentina can win back-to-back, and Messi can get back-to-back so he can be considered the greatest soccer player ever. But Messi won't be the greatest soccer player ever. The greatest soccer player ever will wind up, at this rate, being Erland Haaland, the Cro-Magnon-looking Norwegian. That guy is going to be greater than Messi. So Messi is pretty incredible, but if Haaland has anywhere near that length, Messi is a great player, but Messi is running out of gas. Let's see. He's got a lot of accolades. He's 39. He has 520 appearances with Barcelona with 474 goals. Impressive. Paris Saint-Germain, 58 appearances, 22 goals. Inter Milan, 67 appearances, 62 goals. Impressive. His international career, in 204 games, he has 125 goals with Argentina. In 62 games, 1/3 as many games, Haaland has half as many goals. His strike rate is much higher than Messi. Yep. So, but it's much more than just that. Anyway, Messi is a great player. I'm not taking anything away from him. But he, as Charles said, was given a soft bracket. Given a very soft bracket. A very soft bracket. But Cristiano Ronaldo, his career is over at the international level. We won't see him anymore. He's done. No, he did it in... Messi has done it in Barcelona, so in Spain, in France, and in the U.S. He's done it in 3 countries. Cristiano Ronaldo is 41 now. And he has... with Real Madrid, he has 311 goals and 292 appearances. Manchester United, 84 goals and 196 appearances. Juventus, 81 goals and 98 appearances. Manchester United, he went back to for 2 seasons, 40 appearances, 19 goals. And Al Nassr, he's got 102 goals, 107 appearances. For Portugal, he has 146 goals and 233 appearances. Great player. It's unfortunate. So Neymar is gone. Ronaldo is gone, and now we'll see the end of Lionel Messi at some point after this. So, but they've set this up so that he can win yet another World Cup. That's what this is all set up. This is all staged for Argentina. Oh, no, Big Fish. I didn't say he's not a gifted player. He's an amazing player, and I'm rooting for him. Yeah, the article was a cancel. Yeah, the cancellation was a hoax. Yeah, exactly. No, don't apologize, Castle. I'm just saying I didn't see that anywhere. I thought Ronaldo was decent in this tournament. He's not the reason Portugal are gone. Portugal are gone because no one else could score. Yep. Good night, Veroshka. Probably good night for everybody. We've been at this an hour, so probably time to rock it up here. Yeah, Karen, I don't know how The View doesn't get canceled. Conor McGregor. I don't watch UFC. I don't watch UFC. Union Jack is a racist flag, apparently. Now they're attacking the American flag. Yeah, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. Well, good to see Nigel Farage will not face anyone. So it's a waste of time to have the by-election, but they'll do it anyway. Exactly. Charles, I agree. Portugal can blame their coach for being too defensive. When these teams fall back in defensive mode, yep. I wish America had been defensive instead of standing around watching guys, 3 guys watch a guy go right between them. That was pathetic, to say the very least. You're welcome, Dylan. Yeah, time for bed. I've got to finish editing the video I did. All right, folks, good night. Take care. Thanks for being here. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done already. I do appreciate your support for the channel and your viewership tonight. Back a buddy. Well, I don't think I'll be backing them anymore. Again, I'm not a fan of Mel or Pete Filione. I think they're a bunch of slimy people. But they took their campaign down with no basis whatsoever. Legal Alien. So sent you a couple pics of my daughter of her loving freedom. In what? An email or a WhatsApp? How did you send it to me, Legal Alien? Oh, in my WhatsApp. I'm sorry, you said in my WhatsApps. Yeah, somewhere in the WhatsApps. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I didn't see that at the end of my bad. All right. Who was the famous US team said they would immigrate to UK? Oh, that would be what's her name? Oh, the one who had the stupid talk show. Ellen DeGeneres. Or are you talking about Rosie O'Donnell? She moved to Ireland, and she can stay there. Yeah, Portia's dead. She went crazy. It was either Rosie went to Ireland, Ellen talked about moving to England, and she came back. Willie? No. A Briefly article? No. How did you send it to me? Guys, please tell me how you send me things, okay? Oh, there it is. Willie sent it in WhatsApp. Okay. Oh, wow. Briefly. Okay, cool. Wow. Wow. A vocal advocate for African immigrants to the U.S. I'm not a vocal advocate for African immigrants. I'm a journalist. Yeah, Portia's dead. She's the one who drove her car and went crazy. Remember, she was supposedly dead, and then she sat up in the body bag. Remember that? Portia, is it her? No, am I getting that wrong? Wasn't it Portia de Rosa? Who was it? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe who was the one that? No, it wasn't her. It wasn't her. It was Anne Hesh. It was Anne Hesh. That's the one. Sorry, Anne Hesh. Yeah, she's the one that went crazy or something like that. Yeah, Anne Hesh. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Yeah, Portia de Rosa. Yeah, Anne Hesh. Yeah, I got you, Heidi. I misspoke. Sorry, they all look the same with those stupid haircuts. There's white girls. I can't tell them apart. Yep. Okay. So yeah, I didn't see this briefly. Thank you, Philly, for sending that. Colonel Chris Wyatt, a vocal advocate for African immigrants in the U.S., called out a viral video as staged propaganda. The clip was designated to provoke reaction from Afrikaners, with one viewer saying it turned her stomach. Fellows expressed anger and sympathy for those who are caught off guard. Source Facebook. Oh, did I put this on Facebook? I didn't realize that. A TikTok video targeting Afrikaners sparked outrage across social media after Colonel Chris Wyatt, a prominent voice, exposed it as deliberate propaganda. Well, actually, it spoke outrage before that. He's known for his advocacy work on behalf of South Africans. Shared a clip on Facebook with a blunt caption calling it a staged TikTok video as Afrikaners up in arms. On his Facebook account, he said the men in the video are pranksters who often shoot similar content shared on social media, ask people to use better judgment when viewing online content, warn them not to fall into the content creator's trap. Oh, wow, and they gave a link to my video. The response to this post reflects the raw nerve the video struck for a community that has left South Africa under difficult circumstances, being used as props in social media stunt hit harder than most. Bongiwe Mati. Well, thank you for the story, Bongiwe, but I'm not an advocate. I'm not an advocate. That's not accurate. I'm an independent journalist. I don't know why people call me an advocate. I do help people, but yeah, anyway. Yeah, I remember the car. It was Anne Hesh. Sorry, I misspoke there, so I got it sorted out in my brain there. All right. Harley said Democrats are less well endowed than Republican men. I don't know if that's true. It is funny though, but anyway. Heidi says they do look the same. No, Anne Hesh and Portia de Rosa, they all and the other one, they all look the same, man. Joey, hello. All right, that's it. You guys have a good night. It's time for me to finish editing this video and get some sleep. I'm kind of tired. All right. We have no FIFA games tomorrow, I think, right? That'll be the first time in ages, right? No FIFA games. First time since this thing started, almost. Not first day, but I think it's almost the first day. So, yeah. Oh, no, tomorrow, France and Morocco. Quarterfinals, my bad. We actually have a game tomorrow, France and Morocco. Well, I'll be rooting for Morocco. Yep. I'll be rooting for Morocco. Good night, Heidi. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.